Good morning. Sorry, my network is a little crazy as usual.
No problem, no problem. All righty. So let me see, are we live in the group? Because y'all know Zoom be telling me I'm live, but you know how I feel. I have to see it for myself. I think I see us. Oh, I see us. I see us. I see us. All right. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. I love it. I love it. All right, guys. So let's do our show banner. Boom. There we go. All right, guys. Welcome to your Unlock Your First Six Figures morning show. I am your host, Shay Cannon. I'm an award-winning chief operating officer, and I have an exclusive clientele of 7- and 6-figure entrepreneurs. However, I have this mission of helping small business owners and entrepreneurs just like you to stop spinning your wheels and struggling to get to your first 6 figures in revenue by teaching you how to make the money and create the time freedom, okay? So this show is just one of the ways we give you transformational information for your business growth. We have already had our blog talk this morning, and so the topic of the week and the topic of the day has been revealed. We are talking about the overlooked investments for a successful business, okay? Overlooked investments, that means past the ones I talk about all the time the most, right? So we're talking past invest in your brand. We're talking past invest in teams, invest in systems, invest in process, invest in technology. We're talking about beyond those things, okay? So the first thing that we have revealed, okay, is that on the path to success, you have to, I'm going to say create avenues to the money, but you also have to harness untapped growth potential. And to do that, our first tip of the week is you have to invest in your personal well-being, right? You have to invest in your personal well-being. Entrepreneurship is demanding, okay? It is demanding. Let me tell you. So a lot of people say it's hard. It's not necessarily hard for everybody, but it is demanding, okay? Let me take these glasses off because what I see is the light is just going to keep showing them. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to take care of yourself mentally and physically. I cannot say it enough. Most small business owners, they are the business. Even if they have a team, they still are the business. And if you don't have a team, you definitely are the business, okay? Since I specialize in service-based businesses, what I know is we are the business, okay? So when we're not taking care of ourselves, then we are literally not taking care of the business, okay? So we have to be in the right mind, okay? In the right physical health. We have to maintain the right energy, the right focus, and the right overall impact for the success of our business, okay? So this includes, because I love a good bucket list, okay? But what we know about bucket lists is they may or may not happen, or they're too far in between from happening, okay? So I need you to focus on what can you do for your well-being daily? What can you do for your well-being weekly? What can you do for your well-being monthly? Quarterly, annually, okay? And what I want to talk about is what does some of that stuff look like, okay? What does some of that stuff look like? Because for me, you need to be paying attention, okay, to your physical health, your mental health, and your pursuit of happiness, okay? That goes beyond it adds to the mental health, but I'm going to separate it out, okay? Because some of you think mental health is only peace. It's not just peace. Okay, I want you to have peace, but I also want you to have a sense of joy. When you are happy, when you have a sense of purpose and you have a sense that you are fulfilling that purpose, that does something like nothing else. It does something like nothing else, okay? And so I want you guys to feel that. And I'm gonna start with Stacy over there in Tanzania, Africa, because Stacy is uniquely qualified to tell us about our well-being. So Stacy, if your internet is going to hold up from the motherland, tell us your spiel on how important well-being is. And let's see.
I hope you can hear me. If you don't take care of it, basically you could burn out Your mental wellness will suffer, and then that will affect your physical well-being. So you could actually, by not doing that, you set up yourself for illnesses that could be fatal illnesses. So that's the short of it.
Yes. Now tell the people what your credentials are and how you're connected to well-being.
Oh, okay. So traditional Chinese medicine, acupuncture, medical massage, that is my professional background. Also, I have an MBA, so in business, so I'm in business as well. But I run a wellness brand, a wellness lifestyle brand here in Tanzania. I have a tour company. We do wellness retreats, and I have a lodge and a restaurant. So I do a lot of things around healthy eating and that sort of thing.
Love it, love it. I love the fact, so Stacy is like my sister. She's like my little sister. She's from my hometown of Birmingham, Alabama. She left the country before I did. Okay. So she's been over there in Tanzania, Africa, living her best life and showing other people how to be their best selves through well-being, right? So I love it. Thank you so much, Stacy. Teray, what are your thoughts around taking care of your well-being? Because what we know is it's usually an afterthought.
My thoughts are to go to a Stacy retreat over in Tanzania. That's my thought. I'm over here on her website like, yes, ma'am. I love that. So I just discovered like last year that hotels do these day pass things.
They do.
And so we already know entrepreneurs who will go to a hotel for a day, and you don't have to check in or anything. You can go to their lobby, you can go to their little restaurant, their little bar area, set up with your laptop, and it somehow gives peace of mind just being in a new environment. If you work from home, if you work in an office, it gives you a new environment, and it kind of gives you some peacefulness just being in a new place. But these hotel day passes, what you do is you pay them for the day, like $60 or $99, whatever it is. And you have access to a hotel room. You just don't stay the night. It might be from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. or from noon to 7 or whatever. And you can just go there, and it gives you some, you know what I mean? Housekeeping will come through. You can order room service. You have access to their pool area. You can sit in their hot tub. You can get a spa pass if you want to, go in their sauna, yeah. And it feels like you're on your own personal day retreat. And you can still work. You don't have to be like, well, I can't give up a Tuesday to be at the hotel. No, you can still take your laptop. You can still go to the bar. You can have lunch in their little restaurant, and you can still network. Because sometimes just being there will strike up a conversation with somebody who you can do business with, and then you can go take a nap in the hotel room that you have. So there are people, and I don't agree with this, but there are people who will wake up in the morning, go online, get a $30 plane ticket to wherever, fly to wherever, and go and sit in a hotel on somebody's beach or with a mountain range or something, and work there for the day. And for them, to me, travel is too exhausting to do all that and come home the same day. To me, it's too exhausting. But for some people, that's their thing, and they're home by midnight and they're happy. And for them, that's their peacefulness. They still got some work done. In fact, they feel like their mind has allowed them to be more creative because they're in this other place. So yeah, that's my tip for today.
I love that. I read something yesterday that said, when you give your mind the benefit of new experiences, you give your mind the benefit of rewiring towards your wellness, right? And so I love that. I love that. I love that. All right, let's go to Miss Kimberly Miles. Miss Kimberly Miles, what is your take on the importance of well-being for your business?
Excuse me. I'm in agreement with everyone, and I can honestly say that has not been a priority for me. So, in the last couple of weeks, I realized that is something that I need to take more account of. Because I can, like Stacy was saying, it definitely can lead to other issues. So, Teray, I didn't know about those, options or anything. So I think that being able to just step back and woosah is important, especially for mental well-being. Physically, I think if you get the mental, emotionally, and everything else in place as well, it can help you want to be physically, that physical well-being. But I can honestly say that it hasn't been a priority, but moving forward, I absolutely will, because I'm starting to see it in my personal and my business life. So definitely.
Definitely. And Kimberly, I feel like it also should be a part of your branding, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because your brand takes care of a piece of the body that does a lot of work that people
Yeah.
ignore, right?
Yeah.
And if they were to be in their well-being and taking care of themselves, then you can remind them to incorporate that piece of the body. There are whole industries that are about massaging just that piece of the body. So do you want to tell
Yeah.
people what that piece is and what you do?
Yes, it's my brand is Foot Crush by Me Too Naturals, and we're all about the love and care of your feet. And I do believe that if your feet aren't healthy, or if your feet hurt, or if your feet look bad or whatever, it will impact everything on your body. If you're standing somewhere and your feet start to hurt, you literally like lose contact with everything around you. I know I do. Like if my feet hurt and I'm standing somewhere, all I'm thinking about is I got to get off my feet. I don't care what I'm doing. So that's my goal, is to definitely build the brand of making sure that people remember that a part of your routine skincare should also include the soles of your feet.
Most definitely, most definitely. Cheryl, what are your thoughts around well-being as a secret weapon to being successful in business?
It's invaluable. Without your health, you have no business. About 23 years ago, I went into burnout. Didn't even know I was there. All I know is that I did not want to move, period. Get up off the couch, do whatever. But I was very blessed in that at the same time, I got pregnant and I started craving healthy foods, fruits, salads, this kind of stuff. And I just felt led to walk. So I got up, I forced myself to get up and walk. It was those things that brought me out of burnout. But I tell anybody, you don't ever want to go into burnout, because there's no guarantee that you'll ever get out. So 23 years ago was when I started paying attention to me and my well-being, especially my mental health, because it all starts in the mind. And the young lady that talked about the feet, let me tell you, I had a revelation when I saw, I don't know if you all are familiar with Ricky Smiley's thing on models, but he showed their feet. And, as a model, they'll stuff your feet into shoes that don't fit. Yeah. And these girls had the most beautiful faces, but those feet were tore up from the floor up. And I was like, how do they even manage to walk? So that's my opinion on it. But yeah, take care of yourself, because burnout is no joke. No joke.
Exactly. And let me tell you, as a former runway model with a big ass foot, they do try. they try it, baby. Because they're not worried about what you're comfortable in. They're only worried about what they have that is convenient for you to put on. And the feet is the last thing they worried about, is usually the clothing. And so I used to have in my contracts that they have my size shoe. Because that's a no. The first bits of a corn, y'all know I'm from Alabama, CORN on my foot came from them putting me in too tight shoes and me not saying anything. And when I saw them forming, I was like, oh no. So I had to speak to my agency, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do it. And so sometimes it depends on how much you speak up for yourself, right? How much you value your own well-being. But they will put you in some shoes that are, 2 sizes too small, 3 sizes too small. And you're saying, how do they walk? In pain. That's how they do. And they're not in the slightest allowed to show that they're in pain, as you guys know. But sometimes that's where those stoic looks come from. But yes, you're correct, Cheryl. Going over to Demetra. Demetra, what are your thoughts around your well-being as a business owner being a huge part of your success?
Absolutely, I totally agree. Teray, thank you very much for that reminder about the daily hotel. That I'm gonna have to look into that really quickly. But one of the things that I do is make sure that I am always diffusing my favorite essential oils, and the natural ones, not the synthetic ones, because I have found out that it really does help me to relax. One of my favorites is called Stress Away, and it is made by Young Living, and it is an absolutely wonderful scent. But I could just feel like any stress just melting away when I diffuse it. So yeah, that's it.
Love it. Thank you, Demetria. Thank you. Miss Dania, our other operations expert. What are your thoughts on well-being being a huge key to business success? Oh, wait, I forgot Dania has to listen today. My bad, y'all. Let's go over to Glow. Glow, are you just listening today, or can you come off the mic? And Glow might just be listening too. All right, put it in the chat if you want to, Glow. Good morning. Heather, well-being. Okay, well-being. What do you think about that being one of those uncommon things that is most important to your business growth?
I think that there's obviously we all have a mind, body, spirit connection. So it would make sense to add your revenue to that. So there's your mind, body, spirit, revenue. All of those, you have to have the first three to get the last one. And if you don't have those, and I'm not saying you're going to be in balance all the time, right? But if you can figure out how to do it in harmony, because harmony is different than balance.
It is.
I think balance is unachievable, but harmony is very doable. So if you can figure out harmony, then your revenue will show that in commensurate levels.
Most definitely. So Teray, who her newest venture, right, is helping with I'm gonna say though, the well-being of relationships, right? And I love it because I love the relationship that she has with her husband. I love the relationship she has with her kids. And so that's her thing with well-being. But what she revealed to you is you can get a day pass. And we got a couple of travel people on here. I'm surprised y'all didn't know about the day passes, man. Did you know you can go to, when you travel, you can go to a least expensive hotel and get a day pass to the most expensive hotel and have a great time, right? So, I mean, I do that here in Playa del Carmen a lot. One of my favorite hotels to get a day pass to is the Big Hilton that is right on the beach. And so that day pass, depending on where you are, but here in Playa, when you get day passes, it usually either the cost of the day pass goes to your consumption, or with the day pass, you get all-inclusive stuff, including alcohol, which is what I love about either the Reef 28 day passes or the Hilton day passes. So I love those. Thank you for that. No, not all of them have them. But you have to check into it, right? And some of them even have what they call a day rate, which means you can even get a room for the day, like within business hours only. So check out all of that, right? All right, so I want to go into, let's talk about some things that you can incorporate in your daily routine for your well-being, okay? So this is the segment that is sponsored by ChatGPT. All right, so Chatty has told us that we can do meditation, okay? We can do exercise. I guess I'm not, y'all know I fucking hate exercise, but movement, okay? Find some ways to move. I like the dance breaks and things like that. But exercise, right? Gratitude practice. Y'all, let me go TMI for y'all, okay? Let me go too much information for y'all. But it's my routine. When I first wake up, I have a gratitude affirmation that I say when I first pee. And I keep it going all day. So the first one I do is a longer affirmation, and it's a longer meditation and gratification. What is it's gratitude. Thank you, y'all. But then every time I go, all throughout the day, I'm infusing gratitude in my day. And I'm gonna tell you, one of my biggest tricks is anything I want to start doing, I attach it to something that I do already, right? Anything I want to start doing, I attach it to something I'm doing already. I knew that I wanted to have more gratitude and do more affirmations and to have these infusions of great energy all throughout my day to correct anything going on in the day. So I attached it to something I already have to do anyway, right? Yeah, go pee, have an affirmation. Okay, so healthy eating, journaling, quality of sleep. Man, let me tell y'all how I'm into my sleep right now. I am definitely into my sleep. I'm into bedtime. I am into waking up, trying to get up early, a little earlier, but going to bed earlier so that waking up earlier is not such a bother, right? Quality of sleep. I'm looking at what little lights are on in my room when I go. We have so many devices nowadays. There's so many little lights in your room. And did you know you're not supposed to sleep with any lights? Okay. So now what I have are the sleep mask right over my eyes so that no light gets in. Also in Mexico, in my condo, there's another condo right across. And so there's always a light on that building. And so blackout blinders, right? So also be aware of your devices, right? Having that device charging right by your head, all kind of stuff like that. Look out for all of that for quality of sleep. So not just going to sleep, but the quality of your sleep. Disconnect from screens, right? We're supposed to have a wind down period, right? And nowadays, our wind down period needs to include coming away from screens, not just TV, not just the computer, even your phone. It's a screen, okay? Practice deep breathing. Woo, let me tell you how your girl didn't know how to breathe for a long time. For a long time. I'm good at holding my breath. I'm not good at breathing. Yoga has helped me a lot with that. But then there's this thing called breath work, where it's just about the breath. So research that and see if that's going to help you. Connect with loved ones, okay, daily. You can find somebody. It don't have to be the same loved one. It can be different ones, okay? Self-care activities, learn something new, engage in mindfulness, laugh, have fun, set boundaries, practice self-compassion. If y'all don't start giving yourself grace, you better start giving yourself grace, okay? How we treat ourselves is the blueprint for how we allow others to treat us. We got to give ourselves grace, okay? We got to give ourselves grace. So I would like to know from Glow and Dania, you can put it in the chat, which one of these that you're going to start using daily. Then I'm going to start with Demetra. And Stacey, you can use the chat too. I know your internet is in and out. What is one of the daily ones that you're going to try?
Walking.
Movement. Love it, love it, love it. Well, no worries, ladies. I have another list. Some things that you can do weekly, okay? If you're not doing daily exercise, I need you to at least do weekly exercise or movement. What about meal planning and prep, okay? Mindfulness or yoga, nature exploration. I'm just gonna say at least once a week you need to get outside. You need some vitamin D. And for you guys with the nasty mind, I'm talking about what comes from the sun, okay? You need some vitamin D. All right. Volunteer and give back. Digital detox. Have at least one day where you're not doing something on the internet. Have one day where you come away from that computer, okay? Self-reflection and goal setting. Creative expression. Social connection. Spa and self-care day, which, okay. Personal development weekly. Reflect on accomplishments and celebrate weekly. Declutter and organize. Reflect on gratitude, rest, and relaxation. Okay. So, Miss Kimberly Miles, what is one of these weekly things that you're going to start incorporating? Uh-oh. Oh, there she goes.
Yeah. Well, weekly, I guess I do want to do volunteering. It's just trying to find the time to do it.
Well, maybe that don't need to be your weekly one then. Yeah. So the purpose is to pick a weekly one that will work, not one that's what you wish.
That's true. Okay. So yeah, actually the meal prep is definitely one that I've been discussing. It was my mom. My mom lives with me and she cooks every day for us. And so we were actually talking the other day about getting into a healthier eating pattern and everything, and how I'm in the office 3 days a week. I'm only home 2 days a week. So she was like, you need to we need to prep your meal so that you don't get in the office and start ordering Uber Eats and stuff like that. Cause I have a bad habit of doing that.
Yes, yes.
So that's definitely something like on Sunday afternoons, I can sit and prep my meals and put them in the little containers and have them ready. So
Cool. Love
that's
it, love it. Stacy said in the chat that she's going to do more movement and breathing. She homeschools a 6-year-old. So I even get caught up sometimes and I know better. Yes, yes. More movement, more breathing. Okay, here's a list for monthly things you can incorporate for your well-being. A retreat or getaway, goal review and setting, self-reflection and journaling, health checkups, creativity exploration, digital declutter, mind-body practices, learning and personal growth, social connections, cultural experiences, mindful eating, gratitude practice, nature immersion, digital detox on the weekend, random acts of kindness. Heather, which one of these monthly things do you want to add in?
Probably the nature one. Because I mean, like, I've been trying every day to go outside for 15 minutes and sit in a lawn chair facing the sun, right? With my feet in the grass, no shoes, just feet in the grass, and do like this guided meditation. But that's not nature-y enough. Like I have a whole ass membership to the Audubon Society. Why don't I go there?
Okay.
So yeah, I'll do that.
More nature. Love it, love it, love it. All right, let's talk quarterly. Quarterly health and wellness check-ins, retreat or vacation, personal reflection and goal reassessment, body work or massage therapy, digital detox for a week, retreat into nature, reflective journaling and gratitude review, engage in a new physical activity, mindfulness retreat or workshop, volunteer for a cause, learning and skill development, reflection and celebration, detox and cleansing rituals, connect with mentors and coaches, celebration of self-care. I'm gonna take this one. And that is quarterly. What I need to put back into my quarterly well-being is my workations, right? So I'll go somewhere for a week or two and I work during the day, and in the afternoon, I'm exploring something new, right? I've done it in Costa Rica. I've done it in a few places. I did it in Valladolid, Mexico. So for the second half of this year, I'm not leaving Mexico, but there are plenty of places in Mexico that I can go do a workcation, right? A week or two, where I'm exploring something new in the afternoon and the evenings, right? And mostly doing business during the day, but also maybe I take some of those daytime hours and go explore something too, right? So that's my quarterly. Get ready to Ray, because I'm gonna have you pick from the yearly, okay? Teray good at this self-care thing, let me tell you. So I gave her a yearly one, okay? So annual health checkup, reflect on accomplishments and milestones, goal setting and planning, vision boarding, digital declutter and organization, annual vacation or retreat, financial wellness checkup, learning and personal development, annual gratitude practice, adventure and new experience, volunteer for a cause, personal retreat, relationships and connection, evaluate and adjust self-care practices, celebrate and reward yourself. And yearly is usually when people hit that bucket list. Okay, so let's do some bucket list stuff. Don't let years pass by. I'm gonna add bucket list stuff on here for the year. So Teray, what is something that you're going to incorporate for the year? And tell us more about your new venture in helping people to connect with their significant other and some self-care practices for that.
Yeah, so for me, I love the personal retreat thing. The first time I went on a solo retreat, like it was everything, because you can incorporate all this weekly, daily, quarterly, all of it in the personal retreat. It's great. So right now I'm going into this thing where I'm helping people to date. There are a number of women, specifically Black women, Christian women, who want to be married, but dating is exhausting. And so what I've realized is that people don't know how to date, and people don't know how to qualify men, talking about, well, there aren't any good men. There are plenty of good men. There really are. There are plenty, but you don't know how to identify them. You don't know how to qualify them. So, even with people who are in relationships, like my husband and I go on a vacation at least once a year, but we also do these mini vacations. Like for Christmas, we spent 4 days at a local winery. I'm saying local because it's an hour away. Those of you who live in Atlanta, it's called Chateau Elan. You know where that is. And so we spent Christmas there. We went up the day before Christmas Eve on the 23rd, and we left on the 26th. And we just, you know what I mean? And we thought we were on vacation. Let me tell you what we did one day. We went to Stone Mountain Park, which is 40 minutes away from my house. And we went there for the weekend. We stayed at the Marriott, and we were poolside. We had massages. We swam in the pool. Like, we thought we were on vacation. Like, we had a lake view room. Child, you couldn't tell us we weren't on vacation. It cost less than $300. You know what I mean? Because I use Marriott points and all this other stuff. We thought we were on vacation. We went paddle boarding, like, you know what I mean? So yeah, we do that stuff. We find ways. There's a place here called Callaway Gardens. It's about an hour away. You can't tell us we're not on vacation. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's pretty around Christmas time too.
It's gorgeous. Like, yeah, Christmas, we do all the Christmas activities, all the things. And even though my 24-year-old son lives here, I'll send him we're originally from Pittsburgh. I'll send him to Pittsburgh to be with his dad's family, or we'll just leave him here. Like, he can be left here for the day. Like, we don't leave him for the weekend, but like we'll leave in the morning and leave him here. We do things together. My husband and I, and we will leave him so that we can go and be, and spend time together. But yeah, as far as vision board, like I do a vision board like every 3 years, and they are very, very different. Actually, I wanted to share with you my vision board because it's right here. And what I want to do daily is I don't know if you can see some of the things. And so
yeah.
what I want to do is I want to be able to spend time. This is my meditation time to spend. So it's a nice big board. I do one like every 3 years, and they last about 3 years. And then after 3 years, then I need a new one. I need new goals, new whatever. But yeah, vision boards are very important to me. I got married. I was single whenever I did a vision board.
See, Kimberly, hold up hers. Hold up again, Kimberly. Oh.
Yes.
I did it in Canva, and I had them to print it and send it to me. It's a poster size vision board.
Nice.
So it has everything on it, and it says vision board, the goal digger, GOAL digger, and then it has the categories: health, career, wealth, family, travel. I love it. So my goal, I'm sorry, Teray, to interrupt, but my goal was to do one of these every year, print them out poster size, and then I'm going to have them in frames, poster frames in my office when I get. Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
We usually do vision boards for life, but you can do one for business. I have a business vision board.
Right.
I do it in Canva too, but I keep it on my lock screens.
Okay.
Y'all know I'm digital nomad, so most of my stuff is digital.
But it's important for manifestations, like all the things you want in your life. This vision board's not going to help me if I don't digest this every day, so that it can be part of my mindfulness, part of my language, part of my thinking, part of how I respond to stimuli, issues. You know what I mean? It's very much part of my gratitude. So
love it. All right. We're in the last 9 to 10 minutes. You guys know it's Monday, and every Monday I ask you the same question. So I'm going to run through really quickly. And I want to know, what is at least one thing that you're going to do this week to work on your business and not just in your business? Okay. Stacy, Glow, and Dania, you can use the chat. Demetra, what is at least one thing you're going to do this week to work on your business and not just in your business?
Haven't thought about it, Shay. I need a moment. Sorry.
No problem at all. And with that, we'll go to Cheryl. Cheryl, what is at least one thing you're going to do this week to work on your business and not just in your business?
I'm outlining course 3, and course each week I do my meal prep. So that's it. The courses were, I just couldn't believe how they just took off. And it was one of those things where I got tired of planning, procrastinating. And I just said, you know what, I'm just launching it tonight. I don't care what happens. If I'm the only one there, hey, I can talk to me. I do self-talk, but it has been so rewarding. And I more for me, I think, than the others, and they're enjoying it. So I'm doing course 3 and, the meal prep. That's really important. I looked at my budget, I do monthly, budgets as well as the quarterly, the whole 9 yards. I looked at my budget and I was like, I spent $700 ordering out last month, because I don't feel like cooking. I got to do this. No, I got to get back on the meal prep, because when I thought about what I could do with that 700, see, that's the thing. We are the result today of our choices and decisions. That wasn't a good decision for me. So anyway, that's me.
Good one. Kimberly, what is something that you're going to do this week, at least one thing, to work on your business and not just in your business?
So to work on my business is definitely work on my time management goals for the business itself, because I missed out on a couple of awesome opportunities because I forgot to put them on my calendar, that single calendar that you told us we should have.
Yeah.
And so that's a big thing. That was like a hurt, like I was like hurt in my heart because I realized I missed it. And I was like, oh. And also to really sit down and go through and actually do my content calendar instead of trying to willy-nilly post every few days or whatever. So that's a big one. Personally, definitely the meal prep and more meditation in the mornings. Time for myself in the mornings.
Love it. Love it.
Yes.
Heather, what is it? Well, look, before we go to Heather, Stacy said, I'm working on new 5 elements meals and recipes for my clients, but I love cooking, so it's fun for me. Yes. So Heather, what is at least one thing you're going to do this week to work on your business and not just in your business?
Well, I went live for the first time last night and it was nerve-wracking. I used StreamYard and I was like, oh shit, is this all going to work? Like I was freaking out a little bit, but it was fine. I mean, it was nerve-wracking, not going to lie. But I'm going to go live twice more this week. So that's the goal. I haven't picked which days, but I am. And it's ask the editor almost anything is what the theme is. So, and I had one person who was engaged like the whole time. And then another person came in and asked questions. So that was cool because then I didn't have to fill the whole time. I like just hearing myself talk. I mean, it was hearing myself talk, but at least it was, so twice more. I'm going to do it this week. 2 more.
Okay. Love it. Love it. Teray, what is at least one thing you're going to do this week to work on your business and not just in your business?
I'm going to start going live again and recording videos, set up a YouTube page specifically, and finally choose a name for whatever this is I'm doing. Right now I'm going with Dating Works, but I'm not sure how much I like it. And I'm going to connect with Stacy and Demetra because I'm really, I'm telling you, I'm all about somebody's trip. Like I'm going to connect with them because I want to. Demetra said that she's going June 2024. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm trying to go on that trip just because she said it. And because I read through all how structured and organized each day is. It's amazing. I learned so much in the last 15 minutes about it. So yeah, that's what I'm doing.
No problem. No problem. And Dania said, I'm going to take my daughters through my staff orientation to check for missing pieces. I'm going to read every day and pick out all my clothes for the week to streamline my time management. You better know it. And if you can't do the week, Dania, at least do the night before for the day, the coming day. I do at night for the coming day. I've tried doing a whole week and that was great. It did work. But what I know is sometimes I won't do the whole week. So I at least do the night before for the next day. And it's very helpful. especially when you start to buy uniforms for your business, like t-shirts with your logo, tank tops with your logo, all that kind of stuff. You can Steve Jobs that thing and be done. Okay. Demetra says she's going to work on content planning. I love it. Glow says she's going to get these last 3 episodes posted on her platform. I love it. So also, let me tell y'all about Glow. So Glow has Conversations with Glow. It's a podcast. And do you know how having conversations and getting things out instead of keeping things in is a form of self-care? It's a form of well-being, right? So I love her podcast. Let me tell y'all something. If you need help with what you should be doing to work on your business rather than in your business, I want you to go to shaycannon.info/MMAS, okay? shaycannon.info/MMAS. That is an entire workbook around money-making activities, okay? However, before we leave out of here, I want to give you guys, because you know, with me having fewer clients on my service side and leaning more on my program side in my coaching, I am really revisiting MMAs, okay? So catch this. I have 3 categories. I'm not even finished with the 3 because the third one only has 2 things in it. But let's talk about things that are going to directly get me money. That's the high priority, right? So 1-to-many sales, okay, with traffic. So that could be borrowing an audience. That could be me having my webinars and trainings and stuff, right? So 1-to-many sales and traffic, all right? One-on-one sales, okay? And that is strategy calls, interviews for my course, sales calls, okay? Discovery calls, follow-ups. Okay, a lot of y'all aren't following up. The fortune is in the follow-up. I don't do follow-ups on my service side, but on this program side, I will be doing follow-ups. Okay, completing my sales funnels. All right, so that could be lead magnet. It could be tiny offer at the front. Okay, it could be who didn't come to the webinar, who did come to the webinar. All those things. Complete your funnels. Okay. And just for a second, funnel could be here, get this thing that you signed up for, reminders to attend if it's an actual event. Okay, after that, it's, hey, represent that offer that you did at the end of that training. Okay, or graduate them in an upsell to the offer, and then nurture them and remind them of their pain points and the transformation they want, and reintroduce your offer. Funnel. All right. Make sure that my offers are irresistible offers. What are those bonuses looking like? Okay, what bonuses can I pull away and bring back for seasons? The same bonuses all the time don't really bring that sense of urgency, right? My funding and my pricing. I need to check in with my pricing. I need to check in with my funding options. We should make it easy for people to pay us, right? So do you have, especially us with high ticket programs, do you have, I know you have that pay in full, but everybody don't have 5K, 10K, 15K to pay in full. So do you have any in-house plans, and do you have any third-party plans for payments, right? And I'm gonna tell you, if you have third-party and in-house, your in-house should be still like a few lump sum payments so that your third-party funding can be a no-brainer. And in the third-party funding, you will get all of your money, okay? So that's one. Down sales and tiny offers, period. Like, though not just at the beginning of the funnel, but having them, right? So that you are getting some money in, even if it's not just your high ticket offer. Sometimes when you have high ticket down sales and tiny offers, that could be the whole ad budget that you need, right? Stacy said third party funding. That is where you have someone else fund your clients to work with you. So ease consulting, flex buy, things like that. Now, Stacey, you're in Africa. You're probably going to have a lot of limitations because most of those that we use are US based, Canada, North America, basically, right? Lead magnets. Let's get people on our list. Okay. Getting people on our list so that we can talk to them anytime is an important thing. An affiliate program. If you don't have other boots on the ground selling for you, you're losing an opportunity. And payment links. Please make sure you have the right payment links in the right order, attached to the right automations and all of that kind of stuff. Okay. So that was my category 1. My category 2 is all about visibility, right? Am I using my testimonies as content? Am I having content around pain points? Do I have content around the transformation? Right? Do I push my mission? Y'all know my mission is that you're supposed to make money and have time freedom. Am I pushing that enough so that I have a tribe gathering around my belief and my mission? Okay. Do you have marketing campaigns? Somebody said today, I need to start willy-nilly doing content, right? So that's one. But it should be around your marketing campaigns because your content should seed what you're about to sell. Okay. Am I doing enough podcasts and speaking? Am I guesting and borrowing audiences enough? And planning for that. What do my email campaigns look like? Okay. Nurturing email can look different than nurturing on social media. My emails is like a daily, I'm talking to you. It's really highly conversational. And I really tell people reply back. And they do. And we have whole conversations via email, right? My third category only has SEO and KPIs in it, right? So those things that don't have to be, they're important, but they don't come first because you got to do other things to even have KPIs and even have SEO, right? So those are my three categories of the things I am focusing on in the order that I'm focusing on them. So MMAs, money-making activities. All right, guys, we've hit that 9 o'clock hour. So I just want to remind you guys about the training I'm having this week. Sign up, shaycannon.info/free training, because only those that are signed up will get the bonus training happening next week. Okay, so if you were already signed up for last week, don't sign up again. You're going to get an email today to give you access to this week's training. If you did not sign up last week and you missed it, you have an opportunity to sign up, shaycannon.info/free training. And everybody that is signed up will be the only ones given access to the bonus training next week. All right. All right, guys. One to many, right? That's what that is. One to many. All right. Have a great day. Meet us over there in Heather's writing room. What you got, Kimberly?
I'm sorry that the link that you gave earlier, I missed
Which
it. I was trying to get my pen to write.
for the MMAs or the training?
It was not the training. I have the training. It was, I guess it might have been the MMAs then.
Yeah. So it's shaycannon.info/MMAS.
Okay.
All lowercase.
All lowercase. Got it.
Yep.
Thank you.
No, I think it was what she's talking about was the link for the on your business versus in your business link.
Yeah, that was
That's
it. That's it. Okay.
That's the
Thank
MMA.
you. Thank you.
All right. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you right back here on tomorrow.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
And the studio is closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a great day, everybody.